Hey guys, it's Nadia from LiaDia Designs and I'm back with a quick tutorial. Today we're making Opal Shell Glam Geode coasters. I thought this would be really fun, and of course I first laid in a pearlescent white layer of cured resin. So I poured that yesterday and then let that cure. And we're going to be using these seashells from DB Resin Products as well as my Clear Gloss Varnish. So what we'll first be doing is I poured a little bit inside this cup and we're just going to put that down in kind of the rough shape that we want the shells to be laid in at. So this is going to act like a glue, and if you have Mod Podge or any other type of glue or varnish that dries perfectly clear, it'll work for this project as well. So again, just laying in a kind of a V kind of shape. It could be a wave or a circle or a line, whatever you're looking for your design. And then I'm going to just pour some of these shells down on a paper towel so then I can get better access to them. So we'll just do that. And now just going to do a thin layer of the shells and using my hands and a brush. If you have a little spoon or tweezers, you want to use those, definitely could do that too. So we're just going to try to apply those in that shape, that rough kind of shape that we had. And if I need to, I'll just kind of layer another set on top, just because I don't really want any gaps to show the bottom of the coaster through. So, and here we go. So as you can see, I've added in the rest of the shells on this middle piece as well on the bottom, a little section there. And I've made a second one because I do want to make a pair of these coasters. So next step is going to be adding these glitter. It's kind of like a glass glitter, so they're almost like shards. They're not round and they are glass, so they are quite sharp, so be careful. I got these from Michael's art store, and this is like a vintage gold. It's like a champagne gold color, which I really enjoy. And as usual, I'm going to be mixing this with the gloss varnish just to kind of make a paste out of it. And you want this to be a little bit thicker just because we really were just using the varnish as a glue here to kind of bond it. We don't really want it to be too runny. So as you can see, I added a bit more. And it's going to be a bit clumpy, and these are a little bit more difficult to work with. So I'm using my brush, but if you have a little spoon or something you would rather use, you can do that. And we're just going to be laying these down in a line, kind of outlining the shells that we've already put down. And we want this to separate the areas that we want as for our geode. So again, outlining the shells, and then I'm going to be adding another line along the top too, because again, I'm just going to be using this as kind of a way of making distinctive areas on the coaster. So we'll go into a quick time lapse and you can watch as I finish adding these in. And I'm also not going to be making them perfectly straight lines. I'm going to be adding a bit of squiggle to them, so this way it's a little bit more interesting than just straight lines, because we want it to have that kind of a natural effect look to it. So again, just going to go back in and adjust the lines. We want them not to be perfectly straight. We kind of want to have that wave or irregularity, I guess, in the lines. So I will continue here. You guys can finish watching the time lapse, and I'll see you on the other side. And there we go. So the next thing we want to do is we want to fill in some of the middle areas because I don't really want I mean, we could leave it here, but I want to add a little bit more sparkle, as you know. So I'm using this white druzy pigment. It's kind of like a glitter flake. And again, mixing it with my Duraclear, and you can just see the shimmer of this. He calls it a pigment, but really it's like kind of like more of a flake glitter. So again, it just gives a really nice shine. So we're going to add that in. And we'll fill that in on that whole little space, and we'll do something a little bit different on the top section. But again, I mean, if you wanted to just leave this open, you definitely could. I just wanted to kind of show you guys the options here. So obviously, if you don't feel like adding in more pigment or color or glitter, I mean, you could decide if you want to add those things or if you just want to leave it plain. So I'm going to be adding it along the top edge here as well, just a little peekaboo area. And then we'll do the same thing for the next area. And I'm using this pigment from Baltic Day. It's their Champagne Pearl, and it's a beautiful color. It's just very light and just a touch of kind of a champagne pink color to it. So just go in and fill that in as well. And once we're done with this, I'm going to finish off both of my coasters, and then we will leave these to dry. And as usual, I'll leave it to dry for a good 6 to 8 hours, sometimes overnight, depending on how thick the gloss varnish is. Just want to make sure it's perfectly dry before we go in and add our top coat. Alright, unfortunately I'm having some camera issues this week, so I don't have all the footage here. So I did pour in some resin on top as a clear layer, and then we'll get rid of those bubbles and we'll let them sit overnight. And here are the finished coasters. And again, I lost footage of top coating these and also the gold edging. But I hope that you like how these turned out. I really do. I think they look so cute and sophisticated, and they're just really kind of that, chic kind of glam look. It has lots of texture and interest without too much color, and I really think that's really cool. Something a little different for me. But I hope you guys like these too. And if you did, don't forget to leave me a comment and share and like and subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Take care. Bye.